right. So, reason number 1 million why this anti trans hate actually ends up hurting cis people. We have this article from the LGBTQ Nation. A cis employee was harassed by a customer who thought she was trans. Walmart fired her. So she's doubly victimized. First, she's being harassed by an idiot, and then Walmart fires her. So, yeah. Awesome. Danny Davis said she was mistaken as trans because she's tall and that she lost her job as a result, which is so messed up. First, that she was harassed simply because she's tall, because I'm sorry, have you never heard of women's basketball or volleyball? Those players are tall. They are not trans women. They are just tall. So, how tall does she have to be for some absolute moron to not to accept that she could possibly just be tall? I mean, it's just stupid. All right. So let's get to the article. A gay woman fired by Walmart is speaking out after she was accused of being transgender and subsequently fired. Danny Davis, a 6'4" cisgender woman and 7-year employee at the retail giant in Lake City, Florida, of course, Florida, was followed into a woman's restroom by a customer and verbally assaulted. Okay, now, is it unusual for a woman to be 6'4"? 100%. Does that necessarily mean she must have been born a man? No. No, it does not. Because not all men are 6'4" either. I mean, the tallest man in my immediate family is my oldest grandson, and I think he's 5'11". So, okay. She's obviously taller than our family. So, I mean, I don't know where you're getting the idea that she must be male simply because she's tall. Again, there are, just look on women's volleyball. As you can see, I'm a Badger fan, and people who've watched this channel for a while know that I'm a Badger fan. On the Badgers volleyball team, I believe there is a woman who's even taller than that. So, she might be like 6'8", 6'7". I mean, she's super tall. I mean, she's not disproportionate. I mean, she's not lanky. She's not what some people would call freakish. She's not that. She looks good. But she just happens to be tall. By this person's logic, then this whole freaking team, except for the libero, who is your average sized woman, these must all be trans women, because no woman is that tall. I mean, I do not understand. In volleyball, liberos are usually shorter. So, and they look really short when you consider that they're standing amongst trees. In basketball, again, women Badgers, there is a woman on the team who is short. I mean, I think she's like 5'2". She's not even a average height of a woman. But that's unusual. Most of these women are close to 6 feet. Or at least average size for a woman, if not taller. So, Where are you getting the idea that you must be trans? Anyway, my mom and I decided to put my story on social media just to let people know or maybe warn others of the possible dangers, Davis told Pink News. I honestly didn't expect it to gain as much traction as it has, as quickly as it has. Davis posted about the incident on Facebook. Last Friday, March 14th, I went into the women's restroom at my job around 8 p.m. I was alone in the restroom, locked in a stall, minding my own business, when suddenly I heard a man's voice yelling, "Inside the restroom," Davis said. Okay, can we just talk about how it's already messed up that this dude thinks that just because someone is tall that they must have been born male. That's bad enough because, again, have you never heard of basketball players? Have you never heard of volleyball players? These are not short people. Actually, I think water polo players also not short. At least on the men's side. I assume it's on the women's side too. I mean, Jesus Christ. What cave does this guy live in that he doesn't know that tall women exist? And then he goes into the women's restroom. The very thing that he is accusing this cis woman of doing, he's doing himself. Because he is a man. He identifies as a man. And he is in the women's restroom just to harass someone for being in the women's restroom. How does that logic even work in your fucking head that somehow because you're defending women that you somehow get a pass into the women's restroom? I mean, think about this for a second. If you are a man and you think that trans women are men and don't belong in the women's restroom, okay, what the fuck are you doing in a women's restroom? I mean, if a woman who's in the restroom who felt uncomfortable invited you in, that's one thing and still messed up, but still, at least you're invited. You followed her into there. I mean, are you kidding me? This man was fully in the restroom, yelling something about slur. I do know that is not the politically correct term, and it's definitely not a term I use, but I am quoting him. Obviously, I don't know if LGBTQ Nation took out the slur or if Pink News already did. So, but it was redacted. And he was gonna protect his wife/girlfriend from them. Okay. All right. You want to protect your wife and girlfriend from men in the women's restroom. How about not being in the fucking women's restroom then? I mean, and plus, neither his wife, girlfriend, whatever, is in the restroom currently. So, what is your problem? All the while, his wife/girlfriend was yelling, "Babe, get out. Babe, you gotta get out of here. You're gonna get in trouble." So, basically, whoever that woman is infinitely smarter than this jackass. I mean, I hope that either this leads her to realize that this is not a good guy because he's using his claim of protecting his wife, girlfriend, whatever, from trans women as a reason to peep women. Because what the hell are we doing in there otherwise? I mean, that's your logic, that trans women are only going in there to peep other women, despite the fact that most of them are probably straight, so they're not interested in women. I mean, it's just so stupid. I mean, even if you truly think that trans women are actually men, this is still fucking stupid and illogical. The entire time this is happening, I am in the stall. I honestly totally froze. I am not confrontational in the least, and honestly, I didn't know how dangerous he was. Which, fair. And again, ironically, the very person who claims that he's protecting women is scaring the fuck out of women. He's scaring his wife, girlfriend, whatever the hell she is. He's scaring a cis woman because he's too dumb to understand how biology works and that there just happen to be tall women out there. I mean, again, has he never watched any women's sports? There are tall women. They exist. Actually, has he ever gone outside? Because he's in a Walmart. But did he have blinders on? Did he have shades on that he wasn't looking at anybody else? How is it that he does not know tall women exist? It is so stupid. I was the only one in there, so it seemed pretty clear that he saw me enter the restroom and he assumed that I'm trans because of my height. It was terrifying. Davis said she waited, cowering in the stall, until the couple left, and was relieved when the pair was nowhere to be seen as she exited the women's room. Because I'm sure that, ironically, the wife/girlfriend who he thinks he has to protect her from trans women is actually, dragging him home by his balls. And that's probably why he's so enraged. He needs to prove to himself that he's a real man and he can actually stand up for women, because the fact of the matter is she beats the crap out of him. Because not literally, but that she actually is the one who can stand up for herself and he's the one who cowers. And so to soothe his little ego, fragile little ego, he has to attack random strangers because he thinks it makes him powerful. So, yeah, that's great. Visibly shaken, she reported the harrowing incident to her supervisor. Now take note, it was to her supervisor. A week later, she was fired. Davis was informed that she didn't report the assault to the proper salaried manager. Not doing so posed a security risk, she was told. The fuck? You're reporting it to your supervisor. In what world is that the wrong thing to do? That is usually the chain of command. To report to your supervisor what happened. They just wanted to fire her. They wanted an excuse. Now, why they wanted an excuse, I have no idea. But they wanted an excuse to fire her. Her vest, badge, and work phone were confiscated, and she wasn't provided any paperwork formalizing the termination. Walmart is a non-union workplace. In November, the company rolled back its DEI and LGBTQ plus inclusive policies following the results of the presidential election. Except for the fact that this person is a woman, doesn't really matter. Now, I haven't seen her picture, so I don't know if she's white. But, like I said, they wanted an excuse. It felt absolutely awful, hurtful, confusing, and just heartbreaking, Davis said later. So maybe just the fact that she was a woman was, it's like, oh yeah, we'll roll back our policies and we'll get rid of all the bitches who are on our staff. I worked hard and tried to treat everyone kindly, and to be let go for being a security risk of all things was just them twisting the knife, especially after what happened. Yeah, it was. I was the one followed into the bathroom, and I was the one who felt threatened and unsafe. So I get fired for it? She asked in her Facebook post. Davis was deluged with encouragement and advice about how to respond to Walmart's shocking termination. Fight back. Sue the hell out of them. Sue, sue, sue. I don't know if Florida is a right to work state, but if they actually do still have discrimination laws because Ron DeSantis is the governor, so if they still have discrimination laws, absolutely you can sue and you most likely will win. That's sickening, said one reply. I've also been harassed as an employee in the bathroom. I'm a trans woman, but I get this. I was using the men's. This is just proof that trans people can't win. You use the correct bathroom and you still get harassed because you're still not what people expect. So literally, just not safe anywhere from deranged and bigoted people. Take this up with a lawyer, even if you have to use a public defense lawyer for a wrongful termination. Then they don't even have paperwork for why they fired you. Easy win. Exactly. They were, like I said, they were just looking for an excuse to fire her. And it sounds like there was no absolute reason because if they had a real reason, they wouldn't need this shit. Another wrote, transphobia and misogyny have always been two sides of the same coin. I notice let's try that again. I noticed it's a cis man that's going into the bathroom and you that's getting punished for it. I'm so sorry. This has always been about punishing women, cis and trans, for not fitting standards of femininity they want to enforce. And how the holy hell could she? It's not her fault she's 6'4". She didn't ask for that. She just happened to be it because that's how genetics works. She just happens to be tall. She probably has tall parents. Whether she's taller than them or as tall as them, we don't know. And it doesn't fucking matter. The point is, she's tall. She can't do a damn thing about it. So, to then claim she's not a real woman simply because she's tall is ridiculous. Davis was encouraged to contact several law firms posted in the replies, along with filing a complaint with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or EEOC, and the IWW, or Industrial Workers of the World Union Organizing Group. Considering Walmart is non-union, I don't know how that would help, but okay. I have lived here since I was practically a baby, Davis said in her account, and I feel fear towards the community that helped raise me. Which, can't say I blame her. I really wish she had a picture, or because Walmart wasn't a bunch of dicks, if they sent her a video of what this dipshit looked like and shame him, because what the serious fuck is wrong with you? So Walmart are a bunch of dicks, and so is this guy. Because what the hell? First you accuse her of being trans, simply because she's tall, and then she gets fired for it, which again, Walmart was just looking for an excuse. There is no way she had... just the fact that they couldn't give a reason for her firing is proof that this was a wrongful termination. And she could definitely get unemployment. It is just so beyond stupid. And this is what the brain rot of transphobia has done. Now we are attacking people who aren't trans, and you knew this Those of us who paid even a lick of attention knew this was going to happen, that cis people were going to get hurt, because not everybody fits your fucking mold of what it means to be a woman or what it means to be a man. And it's the men who are being, who feel powerless because, in this case, like the woman was telling him, we have to leave. She probably dragged him out finally, or I don't know, somehow convinced him to leave. And maybe, I don't know, she said this was a turn on, let's go home, have sex, and maybe that was enough. Because, yes, he has Neanderthal brain. And I think I just insulted Neanderthals. Because, what the heck? This anti-trans fever that is going around is what's causing this. Women who are too tall get accused of being actually men. Men who have long hair are accused of being women, even though the 60s and the 70s happened here, people. Long hair should not be a deal breaker. It's just ridiculous. Women whose voices are too low. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's just because these people, these morons that previously commented on my channel just assumed that, allies don't exist, so if I'm pro-trans rights, I must be trans, or it's my voice. I honestly do not know what caused them to think that I'm trans, but it's shit like that is causing the trouble. Because why are you trying to pick who's the trans person? Just let people be. If a man wants to attack a woman in the restroom, they don't have to put on a dress. They do not have to try to look like women. They will just waltz in there and attack. Because they're generally stronger than women, so they can get away with it, unless there are men who are willing to help them. They don't need to pretend to be trans women to do such a thing. And we have no evidence that such a thing has happened. This is like somebody watched Bosom Buddies, or, I don't know, maybe it was Porky's, was it? One of the Porky's, where they tried to sneak into a women's only area by dressing as women. It's just, I don't know, did you watch too many of those movies or TV shows and think that's a thing? And that means that, because Bosom Buddies was not there to, well, they were kind of there to oogle women, but they didn't do anything dangerous. They were just goofballs. I mean, I honestly don't know what these people think is happening. It is just so disappointing and frustrating that we have so many really fucking stupid people, most of whom are men, I've noticed, who think that, I don't know if they feel powerless. Like I said, I don't know if this man feels like he's powerless in his relationship, that I don't know if the woman has a better job than him, or if she basically, when she yells at him, he cowers or whatever. But for some reason, men seem to think that they have to attack random women to feel superior. I mean, I guess this guy probably honestly thinks that tall women means man. But again, how do you do that? Tall women exist. They've always existed. I just do not know where this is coming from. This idea that tall women don't exist. I mean, they didn't say anything about her hairstyle, so I don't know if she had short hair or long hair. And even that doesn't say shit. Because if you are a trans woman, you are a woman. And the fact that there's literally nobody else in the stalls but her and this lunatic kind of should say that she's not there to oogle women, that she's not lying in wait, she's just using the bathroom. People really confound me that how their brains function, because I question if they do, to come to this conclusion on such flimsy evidence. Because I will assure you, and I've mentioned this before, I will assure you, you have probably shared a bathroom with a trans woman, and this Dipsy Doodle probably shared a bathroom with a trans man and never noticed. Why? Because this isn't a matter of a gotcha. This isn't a matter of I can tell. Because the I can tell crowd are usually the ones who are the most freaking clueless. This is not easy to figure out. Maybe if they're early on in their transition, maybe. But that just means they're early in their transition. That does not mean they're trying to sneak in and oogle women or attack women or whatever it is you think they're trying to do. So, yeah, it's just really, really dumb. Anyway, that is all I have for this article and this video. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.